Staffers at the Social Security Administration are in a panic, thanks to the many intrusions into their systems, as well as planned cuts in staffing. Until they get rid of DOGE, according to one worker speaking to The Guardian, and the person in office right now, and the Republicans actually get a backbone and stand up for something for once in their lives, things are just going to be complete chaos. That's really the best word to describe SSA right now. Just complete, utter chaos. Yeah, that is not good, especially since this administration helps nearly 69 million Americans a month. Okay, Social Security benefits ensure that people can pay their bills and to not starve. Any interruption in that is going to cause absolute chaos. Staffers told The Guardian that DOGE's plan to cut 7,000 jobs, close offices, and alter the SSA's computer code risks millions of beneficiaries not getting their benefits on time, which would be an absolute disaster. Again, people not being able to pay their bills. So you've got late fees, you've got shutoffs, you've got, many of the people that collect benefits are low income. And those people are going to get hit the absolute hardest if that happens, okay? So, and it's all over non-existent claims of waste, fraud, and abuse. That's the other thing. On that, the source told the Daily Beast, quote, the blunderkins over at DOGE, quote, they couldn't understand the coding. So everything they said SSA was doing illegally, they weren't. They don't know what they're doing. Like the Social Security database is written in something called COBOL. It's a pretty old programming language that was developed all the way back in the 1950s. The SSA maintains over 60 million lines of COBOL code, which powers its core business functions, including the processing, retirement, and disability claims. One of the problems with that language is the lack of a standardized way to store and work with dates. Kind of important, right? So not only do programmers have to work around that limitation so they could represent dates, they also had to come up with placeholder dates for unknown information. So if there isn't a birth date put in, which happens for a lot of older folks who might not have their, birth certificate, they'll get assigned a default date of May 20th, 1875. And this is how we end up with 149 plus or minus year old citizens. Okay? So, I mean, that is a limitation. Now, there are also issues with the fact that all Social Security records from before 1950 were originally kept on paper and microfilm. You had to bring that over to the database, enter things in manually, and of course, that can lead to errors. Okay? That said, even with all these limitations, the government actually does keep pretty good records. And part of that is because these government agencies are sent a form by funeral or from the funeral homes. There is a statement of death. It's called Form SSA 721. Okay, so yes, if you die, the funeral home is going to send the government a form stating that you are dead, and therefore you will no longer receive benefits. So no, you're not getting 150-year-olds that are collecting Social Security. That is not based in reality. It is based in a complete misunderstanding by the DOGE blunderkins. They don't know what they're doing. Now, that said, do they care about it? I don't think so. Look, I think that Elon Musk came into this role with a plan. That plan would be to dismantle government. Why? There's a couple of different reasons, and it's not just about him being able to not pay as much in taxes. Okay? No, I think that he believes that the people who he considers to be weak, genetically inferior, or just plain old will not get their benefits and die. He thinks that those people shouldn't be alive in the first place. Okay? That's the problem. I believe that Musk believes in social Darwinism. I mean, this guy's always talking about, the future of the human race we must protect the future of the human race. That means younger people need to have more babies with high status males with good genetics. We must protect those people and they must breed. And plus, we also need to go to Mars. Hey, look, I don't disagree with the fact that if the human race wants to survive for millions of years, then yeah, we're going to have to colonize the solar system and perhaps even beyond. But the problem is that some of these people have fallen into eugenics arguments, into, oh, as a human race, we need to survive and thrive, and therefore they start making these eugenics arguments of, well, we must cut down the weakest, weed the weakest people out of our gene pool. Oh, yikes. Yikes. I mean, cutting off disability, retirement, housing, food aid. I believe that this is Elon Musk's method of trying to cull the weak. Okay? That's why I think they're doing this. It's not just incompetence, which definitely I think plays a role, but it's not just incompetence. I think it's nefarious. I think these people really do want to kill the poor and people they consider to be inferior. And so that's what's really disturbing about all this. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Now, Rich Couture, a spokesperson for the American Federation of Government Employees, Social Security Administration, that's the union, said that they believe DOGE is looking to fire even more people than the 7,000 jobs it has already promised to, which of course leads to the breaking of Social Security. Quote, "There is no safe office in this country. It's a concerted attack on the legitimacy of Social Security itself." And of course, he did that. Musk had done that by calling it a Ponzi scheme. The promise that this country has made to the public with respect to income security is being broken. Couture fears a negative feedback loop in which staffing cuts lead to more work for those who are remaining. That in turn will push them to quit until the agency ends up in a death spiral with staffing, inducing office closures. You're going to see a wholesale collapse in the agency's service structure. Call wait times will skyrocket. Wait times for appointments, processing times, all of it is going to skyrocket because there won't be enough people to do the jobs, which opens the door to privatization. Privatization, of course, helps the rich. That was one of their goals for this. They'll be able to monetize your retirement, use that money to make risky bets in the stock market, and leave you holding the bag. Anybody who has a 401k right now, with everything that's going on, can probably see why this would be a pretty bad idea. And look, before Social Security, which is a guaranteed retirement, people who are elderly or disabled would die in abject poverty. And it appears that Elon Musk and many in the right wing are more than happy to continue the process of bringing that situation back. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.